I spent 200 days in the most underrated Pokemon fan game of all time, Pokemon Wilds. In Pokemon Wilds, we are playing in an open world Pokemon game where we get to explore around and do anything we want. And we have a few challenges while we're doing this, and the ultimate goal being to find Armored Mewtwo. So we start off our journey by actually making a save file. And what's awesome about this game is that you actually have loads of options for characters and clothes you want to wear on them. So in this case, we go for a version of a sprite that looks like Brendan, and we call ourselves Ruffled, and we choose a large-sized world. You guys think we should play as Brendan? But maybe we should change, like, the color on him to something else. Now we've been loaded into the world. We chose a large world, and the thing about this game is every single world that you make is just randomly generated, which means that everybody that plays this game will have a little bit of a different experience than someone else, because everybody's world is unique to themselves. So we start off by going around, getting ourselves a few Pokeballs that are on the ground scattered, and as you may notice, there are Pokemon in the overworld that we can actually interact with. Some of these Pokemon are friendly, like in this case, we can get ourselves, you know, a Totodile or whatever, or in the other cases, they can be aggressive, and you got to watch out for that. So by now, a few days have actually passed the game, because it does have a day and night cycle, and we are now looking at a few, I guess, Meganium, and yeah, we're interacting with them. As you can see, Meganium are actually aggressive, and you should not mess around with them, because if you do actually talk to a Pokemon more than once, it will attack you if it is an aggressive Pokemon. However, oftentimes, if you find two of the same species of Pokemon in a location, you'll also find some eggies, and if you actually interact with these eggs, you have the option to steal them, but fair warning, once you steal them, these things get aggressive. Run, 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 run! Fuck, Jimmy! They're after us! Woo! Okay, we stole the Chikorita egg. Nice. After getting the egg, then we actually check the map and realize, well, we have our starting point, or the area which is our resting zone, where we initially kind of launched into. We're going to be running back there, but before that, we are looking for other Pokemon. I will point out that there are certain Pokemon that do certain different things. In this case, our Chikorita is hatching, and we do need a Grass-type Pokemon to use the move Cut. To be able to actually use Cut, you use it to break down the trees that are around you to be able to use the resources to make yourself a house. So that's exactly what Chikorita exists for. And as I'm preparing to start building our house by using a few fences to stop messing around, for whatever reason, a Blastoise jumps out of the water and becomes extremely aggressive against me, which is a little bit terrifying, to say the least. Oh my god, that fucking Blastoise went out of the water! I didn't know he could do that! I didn't... Bro, I'm not used to Blastoise. Like, what the fuck just happened? After losing my mind over essentially a actually friendly Blastoise, I then go ahead and keep getting designed on our new house. Okay, maybe we should build it in here instead. At least inside of here, there's like fucking nothing that can, like, you know, harm us, I guess. Besides the grass itself, though, which is fine. Dude, I get trauma when I see this Yanmega, because this Yanmega just reminds me of fucking the first time I played this game and I found a Yanmega shiny and I failed to catch it. Yes, it was true. I did find a Yanma shiny in the past playing this game, but that's besides the point. Ignore me being wrong about Yanmega and Yanma and who is who. Nonetheless, it's time to actually build our base. So here is a speed version of what that looks like. We start off by cutting away a lot of the grass and space right here, because we're going to use this kind of little sanctuary area in the middle right here as our starting base, as the location where we begin kind of everything from. And we do that by basically getting rid of all the grass. Of course, we get rid of a few trees because they are a bit in the way, and you'll see later on down the line as we are playing through the game, we get rid of even more of that, you know, unnecessary, like, amount of trees right there, and we build, like, sanctuaries for our Pokemon. But then we use the Machop, which, by the way, Machop is the first Pokemon you receive in this game, no matter what you do. You can't choose the starter Pokemon. Instead, you're given a Pokemon that's, you know, just specifically a Machop in this case, which is the one that you can use to do buildings. And in this case, we're building our first base/house. And also, I should point out, we make a fire, and fires are what you need. These fireplaces is what you use to actually create certain items. It's your crafting table in this game, similar to how you have one in Minecraft. So after doing ourselves a favor of building a house and starting base, we then decide that, okay, we should do some interior work in this case. So you can actually make your building or your house taller. You can add in stairs, you can add in like extra floors. There's a lot of options for what you can do with your house, and you can even decorate it with certain things, even, you know, like actually dolls, like Poke dolls and stuff like that. However, we add in stairs and build up a second floor in case we need to use it for something later on. Then we also try to make ourselves a bed. However, to make a bed, it is a bit complicated, I must say. To make a bed, you would need a few more resources, so we gotta go out into the world and find different Pokemon that can give us those resources. Like, for example, in this case, I'm attacking a random Pidgeot, which I can definitely not defeat, but guess what? This Pidgeot would actually be able to give us feathers that we'll need to make ourselves a bed. Let's see. Run, Forest, run. Basically, yeah. We then find a giraffe rig, which is really awesome because we can use this one to, well, be a mountable Pokemon, one that we can ride around on to get to places faster. So we get it on our team, and we start using giraffe rig as a rideable Pokemon, which is really useful. It's a weird oddish. Okay, so what we're going to do now is this. Let's loot all the fucking berries here, because we like berries, boys. You guys already know that. Let's get all the berries, and then let's cut these trees down. Wait, don't tell me there's a fucking... Oh, no, 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 not Sudowoodo, bro, not again. I'm so fucking tired of these Pokemon just showing up like little bastards all the time. After being traumatized by Sudowoodo, we go towards the coast on the west side of our island. And interestingly, we find a few Pokeballs, but also something that I think you guys will enjoy. We find a nest of Dragonites. Yes, we find a nest of Dragonites, and we decide to steal one of their eggs. It is. Oh, dude, Dragonite. Okay, guys, are you ready? You guys ready for this shit? Are you ready for this shit? You guys ready for this shit? Here we go, boys. Oh, they got stopped. So yeah, that was kind of lame, but the Dragonites got stuck in the trees and they couldn't do anything, and we got a free Dratini, I guess, a Dratini egg, which I'm gonna be honest, doesn't even come in handy later on. It's actually pretty useless because it takes too long to level up to Dratini, and we actually find better Pokemon along the way. We then head back to our base and actually add more fences around it to make sure no Pokemon can come in, as well as a door so that we can actually walk in and out of the area itself, which will come in handy later on, as you will see, because certain Pokemon that are aggressive that you may have messed with in the past can actually show up and try to destroy you. So all of a sudden, Dratini decided to finally hatch, and now we have one in our team. However, we need to actually do a little bit more work. We add extra fences around our base to make sure nothing can enter, but also we start kind of the first version of what our farm is going to look like here, because yes, we're going to be having more or less a farm in the game where we're going to be able to put multiple Pokemon that can do different things, because what you want to do is you want to get Pokemon together that actually are the same species, right? You want to have like multiple, if you have Wooloos, you know, or Ralts or whatever it is, you want to get all those together and put them in the same zone. This will come in handy because then they can, well, essentially breed more Pokemon of that same kind, but also a higher chance in this case, seemingly, to give you resources, or just faster resources if you want to say it like that. But also, a big important thing I should point out is that you want to make sure that the Pokemon you add in actually are in the right biome. If you add a, I don't know, Poliwag into the zone here, which is the forest, it will not enjoy it. It will not like the area. You want to make sure that there's water for it, or you build an area close by with water and stuff like that. Let's see. Can we craft like soft bedding? There it is. But we need silky thread too. Fuck! And the only thing that gives silky thread is bug types. One of, actually, I guess the spider boys. But fuck, man. If we want to catch like a Spinarak, that's gonna be complicated. Fuck. Okay, so we need to first of all level up our Pokemon, I guess, a bit. Do we have anything to heal them with? Can we make heals? All right, guys. I think it's a gold. Oh no! It's the classic battle, guys. It's the classic battle, dude. It's the classic battle, lads. It's the classic hardened battle, lads. You know what it is. So after that encounter with the Pinsir, we actually finished our stream and came on the next day to play again, but this time off stream, and we decided to do a little bit more exploring, as well as using Chikorita and also the smaller scale screen. As you may notice, the game actually runs way smoother if you run it in like windowed mode rather than if you run it in full screen on your thingy. For whatever reason, it's like this, but at this point we decided, okay, we need to kind of rework our base, and as you might notice right there, the ghost showed up. Now, the ghost is an entity that will show up every other night or so. It doesn't show up all the time, but when it does, it can be a bit scary, because what the ghost does, it just attacks you, and you can't use any normal type moves on it because it's a straight up ghost and a ghost type, and it is a bit creepy, especially if you play this game for the first time and you don't expect it. The best way to get rid of the ghost is, well, usually if you have a strong enough Pokemon to defeat it, then it's fully gone. Otherwise, run away from it and get to a spot where you will find specifically light, right? So if there is a fire type Pokemon there, you will be safe, or something along those lines. So once you've gotten away from the ghost and, you know, you're playing the game normally, a recommended thing I would do if I was me, you, or whatever, what I would do definitely is make sure you've got a Pokemon for each typing, and make sure you leave them all in the area where you will last, like, sleeping, I guess, because you do have a sleeping bag in the game, and the only way to heal yourself, besides using berries or anything like that, or crafting certain things, is to use your sleeping bag. Yes, you have a sleeping bag on you that you can use to actually heal yourself. This is your Pokemon center of sorts, but what you want to do is you actually want to get a bed, because once you have a bed, you heal much quicker. The sleeping bag, it takes a while. It takes a few seconds, up to a minute or so, to fully really heal up your full team. So what I would recommend to do is make sure you get the things you need to make the soft bedding, which is an item required to be able to then craft the bed, and beds can only be made inside houses, so you will have to actually build and craft a whole house to be able to do this. Nonetheless, at this point, we're just running around trying to get a few levels on our Giraffe Rig and the other ones of our Pokemon. As you may notice, we are kind of just running through the grass, trying to level them up as much as possible, because I realized that, well, if we need to, you know, take on an like, I guess, an Aerodactyl or a Kabutops, wherever it might be, in terms of a fossil, which is one of the goals we have in this game, if we want to get one of those, or if we want to take on Volcarona or the legendary Armored Mewtwo, we will need to do quite a lot of things in terms of leveling, because those guys are going to be high level as heck, so we're not going to be able to just kind of smooth our way through that, just so you guys know. Nonetheless, though, we're just at this point finding a Pikachu, which also is a useful Pokemon, because, like I said, you want to make sure you have a Pokemon of every single typing, including electric type, because it will come in handy later on when you need to power on generators, or if you don't have a fire type, you can use electric types to also light up tunnels and stuff. Now, after doing a bunch of grinding, we actually go ahead and give ourselves, or actually, first of all, we leave a few Pokemon like Weasel, but then we actually give ourselves and craft ourselves a bunch of Pokeballs, and we'll be specifically needing a lot of different ones. In this case, to craft a regular Pokeball, you actually need quite a lot of items, which are a little more difficult to actually capture, so we skip those and go straight for the heavy balls and go and take on this Blastoise. Now, you may remember this Blastoise for early in the video. This is the Blastoise that jumped out of the water. Now, we actually provoked it this time to make it attack us, because it is a higher level Pokemon, so if we're able to capture it, we already have a Pokemon that can use surfing for us, but also the strongest Pokemon in our team at that point. So, ladies and gentlemen, guess what we do? Well, we actually get lucky and we capture the Blastoise. Now, ladies and gents, we can just go around surfing. So this means we can now leave the island. Once we're able to surf or fly, we can now leave the island and go to other islands, which will be generated as well. And sometimes your island may not have certain things on it that another island actually does have. So, you know, in this case, we got really lucky. We got ourselves a Blastoise, and now we can just roam around as much as we want to. We also quickly capture ourselves a Spinarak, which we can use to get silky threads, which we'll need to make our bed. And during nighttime, as we're roaming around in our base, the ghost actually spawns in again, but luckily, as we, you know, have the fire right here, we easily defeat it and the ghost is gone. And then we take ourselves a nap and end another day of adventuring, waking up the next day to do more adventuring. So at this point, we've only seen a very small portion of our actual island, and as you can see on the map here, we haven't explored. All the dark spots are actually areas that we have yet to uncover, so there's quite a lot that we have yet to do. I mean, there's literally loads loads. This is a large map right here. But we decide anyways to just say, you know what, screw it. We're going to go to the next island or just to a new generated island. So that's exactly what we end up doing. So after you swim to the edge of either left, right, you know, top or bottom of the map, you will actually be generating a brand new map. It will literally generate a whole new area, which is so awesome. And that's like one of the highlights of this game, which is why I would definitely recommend playing this one after you finish this video. This is a highly recommended game because just in general, it is a fantastic feature. You can have an endless amount of fun in this game. And so we've now made it to a new island. This is a whole new place we have yet to explore. We now need to uncover what secrets this island actually holds. After a very short amount of time, we actually find ourselves an Onyx, and this is the perfect Pokemon because Onyx is actually able to use Rock Smash, or just Smash in general, which is usable to break rocks that we can then use to craft other items that specifically need rocks to them, as well as creating other objects that we may need inside of our base, home, or whatever you want to call it. Also, another actually awesome thing in this game is, in the future, if there is a multiplayer mode, you might be able to actually make your own gyms and stuff, which I think is pretty freaking cool. So in this case, we now have a Pokemon that can straight up rock smash through things. As you guys can see right here, it also has Dig, Smash, and Ride. So yes, you can also ride on a lot of these Pokemon, and also Dig is very useful to dig up treasures. You'll see these spots in the ground, these like broken areas in the ground, that you can actually use Dig on, and that way you can get certain items that you wouldn't get normally, as well as fossils. We've now made it out of the second island's like forest area, and now we're on a crossroad between like a place that's basically a mountainous, like I guess snowy zone, and on the bottom the desert. Now the desert is where we can find very interesting things such as fossils, as well as the hidden Volcarona, if we are lucky, of course. However, we end up going into the ice zone just to see what we can find here, and for the most part we don't really find a lot. We just crush a few rocks and that's about it. However, we do find the center of an actual volcano, which is sick, by the way. It's awesome how many different biomes you have in this game, and actually the ones you do have is the, you know, like I guess desert, the ice zone, the lava zone, the regular forest, the dark forest, and also the savannas. So you have a lot of different biomes you can explore, and also on the mountain here you can actually break these rocks, and inside them, if you're lucky, or if you dig certain like treasures up from the ground using Dig, you can actually find firestones and items like that you may need to actually evolve certain Pokemon. In this case, we found a Moonstone and a Heartstone before getting attacked by a big old Slugma. Then we leave the actual lava area of the map and decide to make our way back to the desert. However, now we've kind of messed up and we're kind of stuck in the snow and run into a cute old little, I guess, Galarian Darumaka, which is adorable. So yeah, we end up just defeating this one because we do need the experience points on our Giraffe Rig. However, we are now back in the desert zone, and the desert zone is really unique, and this is where you will find places such as this. So this is kind of an abandoned lab. These labs, you can actually go there with an electric type Pokemon to power up the lab. And also, I should warn you, the desert is sort of like the most dangerous area in the whole game if you don't have strong enough Pokemon. In my case right here, I run into these angry Drapions, and Drapions, as well as another Pokemon, are actually the most aggressive things you will find in this game because they will be after you non-stop. So just be warned. So yeah, we end up actually getting defeated by a Drapion, and we've now been sent all the way to the top of the map rather than being there in the desert where we were meant to be, because we actually found, like I said, the lab, and we need the lab to complete one of our 3 missions, which is to specifically summon an actual, or actually create, I guess, a Pokemon out of one of the fossils that we've actually found in the ground while exploring. So a goal is just to get down there right now, and unfortunately, we don't really have a strong enough team to really do that. Instead, we use our Onyx in this case to get all these items. We find a Revive, a Clear Water, and just a bunch of different things that are really useful in the ground, as well as a few berries here and there. Now, by the time we actually make it back to the desert, something has happened. The Cacturn have actually woken up, and these guys actually disguise themselves as literal cactuses, and they will hunt you until they get you. These guys will not give up. And I thought I was fine until I ran into, well, guess what? Even more of them. But before that, we actually still have to do a bit of digging, so Onyx comes in handy once again to do a bit of digging. But before we can even do that, literally like 10 of these guys wake up, and we are literally done for. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we got totally destroyed by these Cacturn, and yeah, we had to sort of die and reset. So after that, we actually quit for the day playing the game and returned the next day playing again, but this time live on stream with everybody in chat just chilling and vibing. And yes, we have to figure out what to do next. So our plan, instead of staying in this current island, is to actually go back to our original island and explore it a bit further, because I would recommend check out your full island first. Don't go to a second island before exploring your original one like my dumbass did. So at this point, we end up actually going all the way back to our original island, just swimming with our boy Blastoise and making it back. However, we're not ending up in the exact same area of the island where we started from. We're actually ending up in a bit of a further down south part of the map, which does also come in, well, actually pretty handy, and it is pretty good for us, but also it does create a bit of an issue. We've already been on this side of the map, or sorry, we've already been on this island before, so we already know this island from before, so this is nothing new to us. I'm working until 6 p.m. your time, and this entire Sally went to the... So yeah, we're kind of in the wrong part of the map. We're actually in the bottom part of the map, which means we're not close to our original base, which means we have no way to drop off our Pokemon safely. So if we do need to get a Pokemon added to our team, including as well as this ghost showing up at this point, if we do need to get a Pokemon on our team, there is no good way to do it. So yeah, the ghost is not really making life easier for us either, as it shows up all the bloody time, and it is really frustrating to deal with, especially if you don't have a Pokemon that can deal with it. Luckily, though, we do have Blastoise, which is able to kill it. Fine. Let's fucking go, boys. The ghost didn't do shit. So now that we've defeated the ghost and dealt with that, now we are actually going to be kind of exploring the map in this area as much as possible. We use our little buddy right here to cut through all of the bushes, all of the trees and stuff like that. And a recommendation I would say is you can actually break down and destroy and cut the berry trees too, and then you get the seeds from them, and you can actually plant those seeds wherever you want to. So if you want to make a nice little berry farm, you can do that. You can literally do that. So this kind of game, it gives you a little bit of that like Minecraft feeling, but it's literally Pokemon and in the Pokemon style. So if you enjoyed that, I would highly recommend this. We then quickly take a nap, as we do need to get ourselves healed up and ready to go, because we got a long day ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. We're cutting our way right through this forest as night is kicking in. We're also cutting the grass as well. And the reason for cutting the grass as well, in case you're wondering, is specifically because otherwise we're going to be running into Pokemon all the time in it. So we cut it as well. And the grass is actually useful in case you want to make torches, as well as if you want to make, well, campfires. So we then again run into the ghosts for the like 100th time at this point, but it doesn't really do much. It just keeps running into us non-stop when we keep trying to run away from it, because it's being quite a bit frustrating. So ladies and gentlemen, then we decide to take a nap right in front of the perfect Pokemon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a Noctowl, and we go ahead and try to battle this one, because guess what? Noctowl in this case is a fully evolved flying type Pokemon. It's a straight up big old bird, and what these big old birds can do is specifically fly, and this is why we need it. If we have fly, then we don't need to cut every single tree to make progress, and we can stop using our giraffe rigs. We won't really need it anymore. Instead, we can just fly around all the way just using this Noctowl. So ladies and gentlemen, we go in for it. It is level 50, however, which means we are in a risky situation, but guess what? Luck does come through. That's why Noctowl's inferior. Oh, we got it! Holy shit, we got it! No way! Wait, what? We fucking got it! Holy shit, what? Guys, we actually got it! We actually fucking got it, mate! Holy shit, dude! What the fuck? We actually got it! I can't believe I've done this. Dude, I can't believe that actually just happened. I cannot believe we actually just got it. Are you kidding me? Bro, are you serious? I did not think I was going to get that. Not only did we get ourselves Noctowl, but also our Chikorita decided to evolve into a Bayleaf, which also comes in really handy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're able to fly. Can you fly? Yes, we can fly now. Let's go. Dude, okay, time to explore the whole map in like 2 seconds. Time to explore the whole map in 2 seconds. Give me a second, guys. There it is. Now we can fly. Now everything is easy. Now everything is easy. Now we can fly around and find the goddamn... Now, yep, everything is easy now. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's fucking go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're now able to actually roam around the whole map much quicker. As you can see right here, we play with the full screen on, as it's an easier way to see where we are going and what is around us, and if there's anything in like the corner of the side of our, window that we want to explore specifically. So we decide to go around just different parts of the map, looking for potentially Mewtwo's hideout. Mewtwo's base is a little bit hard to find sometimes. You gotta get lucky that the island you're on actually has it spawned. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's the case in this forest right here. Also, recommendation, it's usually in the forest. Nonetheless, we are exploring around for quite a bit, just looking to see if we can find anything, and eventually we run into a random, Alolan Executor? Oh my god. Look, dude! Hey! That's a cool-ass sprite, my guy. That's a sick-ass sprite. We then get our ass handed to us by a Breloom that's level 50, which is quite unfortunate, I must say so myself, but that actually gives us a golden opportunity to explore the more northern part of this map, which is our original map, and go back to where our home is, but also to find something we've been looking for. I don't think we need more new people. We just need my boy to calm the fuck down. That's what we need. Let's see. Oh, wait, there's a fucking thingy here, too. Oh, okay. So this is where you can get, if you have a Pikachu, you can go inside here with the Pikachu, inside this lab, and you can summon, more or less. You can pretty much summon a fucking, create. If you have a fossil, you can create a Pokemon out of it. So yeah, we might do that later, but right now, what I want to do is, after flying as far north as I can from the desert, we actually realized that, guess what? We are back in our starting map, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, the journey to the other island has now brought us full circle back to our original home and our original base, which is on the top northern part of this map. Because yes, we spawned essentially in the most northern tip of the map, more or less. And yes, guess what? We can now go back to our base. We can leave certain Pokemon, get certain Pokemon, and start expanding our, horizons. We then find a Mareep that we add to our team, which we will be needing because we already have another Mareep, but we're about to make them breed so we can make even more Mareeps so we can get more of their soft wool. And so while we are exploring the desert, we finally run into a location which we have been looking for a while now. Yes! Volcarona is down here, guys. Okay, Volcarona is down here. Okay, so that's good. So we know that this side of the map has both Volcarona and the dome fossil thingy down there. So we are fucking set, boys. We are set. Yes, sir. Okay, is this a Darumaka? Can we actually... Is it a capturable one, I wonder? So now that we know the location of where the actual Volcarona lair is, more or less, and also where the fossil lab is, we can now use this to our advantage and not have to stress too much about finding these locations. Because honestly, the biggest challenge that we have in this video is specifically to find these locations to then do the tasks that we have to do within those locations. However, we take this opportunity now to actually build out our farm. And so we use bay leaf to cut down a lot of these trees, which does give us a lot of resources, especially logs that will be, handy and useful later on. We end up doing that. And also in the middle of me doing this, shout out to Smiley, aka Nibbles, who actually gave us over 52 gifted subs on Twitch. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do these live on Twitch, so go check us out on Twitch right now if you haven't already. And after that, we then build out our fence around where we're going to be keeping all of our Mareep. And the Mareep are useful, like I said earlier, to specifically make certain resources, in this case, soft wool. We need them for that. So we have two Mareeps, and they can also breed with each other, and they gave us some of that wool that we needed, which comes in really handy later when we're making our bed, which, yes, we are still in the process of trying to create this goddamn bed. It just takes a while if you're lazy like me, and if you're spending more time exploring than actually building your, little settlement in this case. However, after this, we've now built out a large part of our map, and we can now fly around looking for more resources. In particular, we will be needing ourselves a few different Pokemon, and also we'll be needing Pokemon to give us feathers. We do have, of course, Noctowl as an option, but we do also need Noctowl for riding around, so that's not really going to be possible. However, we do find two eggs that belong to these Charizards, would get pissed off, but yeah, we kind of just screw them over, and we take two of their eggs, bring them back to our base, which we're going to be actually using in this case. So we build a new enclosure for these guys, because if you have these lads, specifically Charmanders or any really fire Pokemon, they can give you the item Charcoal, and this can come in handy in case you want to, well, you know, craft certain items that require it. In this case, we didn't really need it for any specific items at this moment, but it can come in handy down the line. So definitely highly recommend it if you do need charcoal. The best way to get it is from fire-type Pokemon, so just a bit of a recommendation. Also, I had to run around because I wanted to make sure that they were hatched before I left them there, so we ran around for a bit, actually having the egg following us, and the first Charmander actually, you know, hatched at this point, and then like a second afterwards, we actually had the other Charmander as well, and so we dropped them off inside of their little enclosure, and we let them do their thing. Then we checked in on our little lads, who ended up giving us some extra soft wool, giving us the opportunity to check if we can actually, you know, craft a few things. We get ourselves a few heavy balls, and I will say, in this game, oddly enough, heavy balls are some of the best things you can have. Like, for whatever reason, heavy balls are really, really good. Like, ridiculously good. Ridiculously useful. So, don't know why. Don't ask me why they are so good, but we end up doing that. Then we expand on our enclosure. We make our base a little bit larger and cut away some of the excess areas that we do not require. So there's a lot of trees and stuff that really we do not need right here. So we get rid of those to make sure we have extra space in case we want to put a few, you know, different Pokemon in here. And yeah, the ghost shows up once again, doesn't do anything. And we have at this point made our way through and built quite a nice little base. We've got a few different Pokemon actually giving us a lot of resources, except we haven't really built a decent amount of space for our, in this case, water type Pokemon. Then this random Mewtwo shows up. Now, this Mewtwo was really weird because it just randomly was encountered, and we tried to capture it, and it took a while to actually be able to catch it. Like, for whatever reason, this thing wasn't easily caught. And once we caught it, we didn't even know where it was sent to, because there is no PC in this game. You don't actually have a PC where your Pokemon are sent. Instead, they're just put in the last location where you were sleeping. So if you fainted in an area where you slept, well, that's the area it's basically going to be sending you back to. And since we hadn't slept in our base just yet, we haven't actually used our sleeping bag, as you may have noticed, for a while, we essentially would be sent all the way back in case, you know, we want to look for that Mewtwo. So that was all the way to the bottom of the map, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. However, we do end up getting a few more of our Mareeps hatched out of eggs, and now we have 4 of them just chilling and vibing, giving us resources in their little enclosure. We also get our Metapod and our Noctowl, and Noctowl has given us a few resources as well. Then this angry Pidgeot from the beginning of the game, if you guys remember this one, it's actually back. This thing never left, and it's like level 62 or something, and it ends up killing us, sending us all the way to the bottom of the map again, where we actually find Natsu. So yeah, then we end up actually capturing ourselves a Rhydon, which we run to as well, and this Rhydon, I'm gonna be honest, is not really the best. I think the Onyx we had was actually better, but this one is actually able to use Surf as well, so it's an easy way for us to get rid of Blastoise in case we don't really need it, but we do. Nonetheless, we now have Rhydon on our team, which can use Smash, which will be necessary for a few different areas in the game still. Then we make our way back to the lab, and at the lab, we decide to give ourselves an opportunity to build a bit of an enclosure around it. And the reason I'm doing this is because, as you may have noticed earlier, there's a lot of Drapion and other Pokemon that can show up around it, so we do this for this specific reason. We straight up have to build a little fence around the lab so that no other Pokemon can get in our way as we're trying to get inside of it, because that can easily happen. Even when you're flying, there's a chance that one of them could catch you when you're on the ground, so we try to avoid that by building this extra little enclosure around everything to make things a bit safer for ourselves. And so, ladies and gentlemen, now we've actually been able to use our Spinnerack and a few other Pokemon to make ourselves a bed, which we can use to heal up much quicker. Yes, our team heals much faster now, as you may notice, and that is great because we will be needing that now that we can take on Volcarona as well as the bottom of the map. But that's not all. We end up actually crafting ourselves an item right here in the base, which is really useful. By making a wardrobe as well as a mirror, you can actually use these to change the skin of your character to look like a different one, and also change the color of the outfit of your character as well, which I think is really awesome. So we end up doing that and changing ourselves to look like Callum from Pokemon X and Y. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we now bring a Mareep with us over to the power center, or the lab, where we're going to be able to use it to actually power on the device and summon ourselves a fossil Pokemon. And we specifically have one fossil in this case, which is specifically the one for Kabuto. So we're going to be able to get ourselves a Kabuto by using our dome fossil. So we create it, and as you can see, it's about to literally spawn in and do its crazy stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're now able to take on Kabuto and be able to actually capture it. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, our goal is to capture each one of these. So far, Kabuto is going to be the first one on this list that we're trying and attempting to get in terms of our missions. And of course, we do end up getting eventually lucky lucky with it and actually capturing it, which means mission 1 out of 3 is completed, ladies and gentlemen. After a quick trip back to our house, we go for a little nice nap and get ourselves ready for the next day when it's time to go and find that Volcarona. But first, we gotta do a few other things. So, after doing a obsessive amount of actually sleeping, which again is the literal way to heal up our team, we then have to expand our base once again and do more to make things better. But we do also run into a nice execute. For whatever reason, I think I may have accidentally put one of my fences or houses over a patch of grass, which makes it so I automatically, every time I enter this area through this one specific fence, I end up running into a Pokemon, which is really weird. First it was Natsu, then it was, well, I guess the executes, and later on we run into a few other Pokemon there as well, which is really strange and really weird. But we try to get these executes added to our team and capturing them, as we will be sort of needing a grass type, because for whatever reason, I just forgot where I left Bayleaf, which was literally around the house. But for whatever reason, I just didn't pay attention to it, and I forgot I had it, and it is what it is. We run into a little Pichu, which we try to run away from because we really don't want to deal with it. However, for whatever reason, it doesn't let us escape for the longest time. We also find our Metapod, which is really doing nothing. We then use the executes to cut off a lot of the grass because I didn't realize this, but I left a tiny gap open where our Spinarak and our Metapod were able to escape. So they actually ran out of our base and left our zone. So we decided to cut all the grass away and make the space a little bit larger, and then go get the Natsu, the Spinarak as well, and also of course the Metapod, and adding them back inside there because we can't just let them stay outside in the wilderness on their own where it's scary and dark, and it might be possibly also dangerous. Nonetheless though, after doing this, we make sure to add in a Pokemon to our team, in this case a Charmander, because it is a fire-type Pokemon. So if we go into Volcarona's cave, we'll be able to actually see what's down there, because it does get pretty dark in that place. So we want to make sure we have that extra, visibility with us while we're down there. Nonetheless, though, we keep expanding on our base, making the enclosure for the Charmander specifically a little bit larger, and also enclosed so they don't run out, because I was a bit freaked out at this point. Then we go ahead and craft ourselves an obscene amount of, different sorts of balls: heavy balls, lure balls, friend balls, love balls, even level balls in this case. All these are necessary for when we go up against the Pokemon later on. We are going to be able to find, other Pokeballs in the wild as well, but we do want to make sure we have a lot of these, just in handy, just in case, just in a worst case scenario, in case we need it. So that's pretty much that. We then go back for another nap because we have lost a lot of, a lot of HP on our different Pokemon as we were going through all of this. And so we heal up and make sure we are ready for the next day when we're about to go capture ourselves a Luxray. So Luxrays are specifically located in the more savanna, kind of dry areas of the map. Not the desert, but like the drier areas. And we find this Luxray that's a level 43. We switch over into Rhydon because we know we're not going to be able to, really deal with it in any sort of way. We don't have strong enough Pokemon to really deal with it. And if we use Blastoise, well, it's not really going to do a lot, is it? And we didn't really use Kabuto, so that's besides the point. Nonetheless, we decided to use a few of our moves, like in this case our Stomp, just to lower its HP as much as possible, and then use ourselves a Friend Ball, which we use to capture it. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We now have a Luxray on our team, which is really strong and really useful. And so now it's time to go back to Volcarona's cave and explore it for all it's worth, because this thing is actually a little bit like a labyrinth. You're not always going to be able to find exactly what you're looking for, and you're going to end up getting lost quite a bit while you're inside of there. I will warn you about that right now. Like, straight up, be ready to be, kind of lost half the time you're inside of this cave, because there is a lot of things that you will miss. So we put Charmeleon behind us to follow us, and then we start exploring it. And down here, you'll find a lot of Ghost-type Pokemon. So in case you don't have a Ghost-type and you really need one, if you find Volcarona's cave, you will know where to go and where you can find Ghost-types at. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we are down in the dungeon, and we're making our way around. Now, you will notice there's a lot of different kinds of Pokemon here, as well as a few different items that actually are really useful as well. One of these is specifically Ancient Powder. Now, Ancient Powder is used to actually craft rare candy. So if you are specifically looking to get your hands on a lot of rare candy, I'd recommend going down here or finding multiple islands where you can find these caves and then exploring them, because also you can find Ultra Balls down here, and the Ultra Balls will be needed to capture, whether it be Volcarona or whether it be something else that you're looking for. In this case, it's Volcarona, but if you're looking for even Armored Mewtwo Mewtwo or any other legendary, you will be needing these Ultra Balls. So if you find these caves, definitely do a bit of exploring. Just fair warning, these Dusclops will hunt you around the whole time. They are really annoying, really frustrating, and can be quite a handful to deal with if you're trying to get your way to Volcarona. But eventually, after a lot of dilly-daddling around, we find our way in the entrance to Volcarona's chamber. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we found ourselves at the precipice of this challenge. We have found Volcarona, and it's time to take it on. Of course, we have to switch around a few Pokemon, so we make sure to put Luxray on the top of our party, because it will be stronger and more useful against this thing. And here we go, ladies and gents. It's time to battle the Pokemon Volcarona. I was going to say legendary Pokemon, but I messed that up last time. Volcarona is not legendary, but it does look kind of legendary, but it's not. Nonetheless, cool Pokemon. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we kick off against Volcarona. We have our Charmeleon on us. We try right away to go for one of the Pokeballs. That doesn't really work. We get Bug Buzzed, so we have to switcheroo really quickly into Dusclops. With Dusclops, we go for Confuse Ray. Now, the first time we used it, we actually ended up missing, but nonetheless, it ends up using Leech Life non-stop on us, and it does hurt itself a few times with Confusion. However, this Volcarona is boosted, so it's much stronger than it usually should be in terms of the fact that it can even, just heal itself, use stronger moves, and in general, it can snap out of confusions and paralyzes and burns and everything, pretty easily. So if you're trying to use any of that, putting it to sleep, any of that sort of stuff, it can come in handy, but if your Pokemon that uses it is lower level than Volcarona, you will struggle a bit more. However, we eventually are able to get it down to a decent amount of HP, and then it's just all about spamming Pokeballs until we actually capture it. In this case, we're starting to run out of Pokemon. Luxray comes in next. We try to use a Thunder Shock, but before we can even do that, the Bug Buzz kind of gets us, and then we switcheroo all the way to Dusclops until eventually we throw one Pokeball that does the job. Yes! Yes! Let's go! Let's go! Holy oh my god, let's go. Woo! Oh, amazing. Oh my god, yes. And so, because we didn't have space in our party, the Volcarona has been sent to our last sleeping location, which is back at our base and at our home. We released one of our Pokemon, in this case Noctowl, because guess what? We can use Volcarona for flying. So we added to our party, and ladies and gentlemen, now we have the strongest Pokemon on our team, which is the Volcarona, which we can use to fly around and actually go and finish this challenge by finding Mewtwo's mansion. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we actually end up finding this other area and biome, which is basically these graveyards where you can find a lot of ghost Pokemon as well. And then guess what? We find this blue ball which contains the secret key. And then it's a lot of flying around that we end up having to do here because, well, we have to find the Mewtwo mansion, which is, by the way, guaranteed, which I didn't even know this, but apparently it is guaranteed to spawn on the first island you play on. So you're guaranteed going to find it right there. So after a lot of flying around, eventually we found the mansion. And so, once we found it, we used the key to open the door, and now it's just a giant mansion that you have to explore, look around, and find Pokemon inside of. There's a lot of high-level Pokemon you'll find here, but our ultimate goal is, of course, going to be Mewtwo. That is our number one priority, our number one Pokemon, the one thing we are looking for in this case. However, this mansion is huge, as you may notice. It is giant, so you're going to have to go through multiple of these puzzles, interacting with these statues, and loads of other stuff to get to the end. And along the way, something funny actually ended up happening. One of our challenges, which I didn't mention, was actually to find a shiny Pokemon, which we had as a challenge in the past. And guess what? We find a shiny Grimer. And I made the mistake again. This was the second time this happened to me, where I messed up and I didn't realize it was shiny. So yes, I failed to catch another shiny Pokemon, but nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, after a bit more of searching, we found the room where Mewtwo was located, and here our battle about to start. Now, let's get started with the battle against Mewtwo. Now, I'm going to be honest, the battle against Mewtwo is quite an interesting one, because during this battle, this is Armored Mewtwo. This isn't regular Mewtwo, and what happens is, every 3 to 4, rounds or so, or turns during the battle, Mewtwo will unleash, immense psychic powers, and this will do damage to you gradually throughout the match. And this actually is really annoying, especially if you, in my case right here, don't have enough strong Pokemon that are high-leveled that can survive all those hits, because you really got to take a lot of them. I ended up wasting pretty much all my Ultra Balls at this point and still wasn't able to catch it, even though Mewtwo was at such a low amount of health. I kept spamming these things, but it didn't make a difference. And in the end, ladies and gentlemen, we actually ended up defeating Mewtwo. Yes, instead of actually capturing it, we ended up failing that once again, and unfortunately, we didn't get the Mewtwo in the battles.